Everyone, it's Darla from Crafty Yarn. Well, we're going to be making this book cover today. It's very easy to make, and it's made in one piece. You're going to end up with a pocket right here. So if you want to put some notes in there or pictures or something, you can do that. Here's the front cover, the spine, the back cover, and it wraps around as well, so you have room for putting pictures or letters or anything you want in there. The cover itself is a little bit taller than the book, so that just helps it look nicer, I think. So let's take a look at this blue one because I made this one first. So this is the blue one. It's the same exact design. There's the spine, the back here. So you got a little pocket you can use to put whatever you want in. You can make these for any size book cover that you have. All right, so let's talk about the yarn I used. All right, for this one, I used a worsted weight yarn by Hirschner. So worsted is a 4-weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic. I hardly used any of it. I mean, I used a less than 100 grams total between the two colors. I used a 5.5 millimeter hook. This colorway, in case you're wondering, is Dandelion. And this other colorway I used Kiddie Pool. Okay, so then you'll need a darning needle, a couple of stitch markers, pair of scissors, you know, the usual suspects, and something a little different, a couple of safety pins. Now I use these because our cover folds over like this, so we have a pocket to put our cover into, and all I did was use safety pin to hold it here and hold it at the other side, because it's just, we're just going to just do a mattress stitch. This color is normally used for baby items, so you could do a baby book. You can make a cover for whatever size book you want. It'll fit whatever size book you want. You're going to make a chain that's going to go from the top of your book to the bottom of your book. And then we go from there. We just make it all in one piece. All right, it's really easy. You can make this cover in an afternoon. Okay, let's take a look at the other one here and what the yarn that I used for this one. Okay, now for this one, I used Hobie Rainbow 8/4 quality cotton. It's 100% natural cotton. You can use any kind of cotton, acrylic, whatever you like. And this colorway is 76. It's a really nice royal blue. It's a 2-weight, which is a sport weight. Yeah. So I used the royal blue, which is very pretty, and I used white, which is color number 2. And the hook size I used was a 3 millimeter. So this is the blue one here, and has the pocket on the inside, which helps hold the cover on the cover. Pocket at the back. Very simple to make. You make it all in one color. You can just go crazy, rainbow colors, whatever you want to use. And also you could just use your scraps. I can't wait to see your covers in our Facebook group. All right, let's make a cover. Okay, we have a book, we have yarn, and we have a hook. What we're going to do is make a chain that's in multiples of 3 plus 1. And the way we're going to determine how long of a chain we need is we're going to make a chain that goes from the bottom of our book to the top of our book. Make multiples of 3 plus 1. Okay, I've made a multiple of 3, and this is how it goes on my book, the bottom here. And if you straighten it out, it goes almost right to the top, plus 1. First stitch is going to be done in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go in there with 2 double crochets. So this first one counts as a double crochet, and then we've made 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. Now I'm going to skip 2 chains, and I'm going to make 3 double crochets in the next one. So 1, 2, and then in that 3rd one, 3 double crochets. And we're going to repeat. Skip 2, 1, 2, go in the 3rd one with 3 double crochets. Skip 2, go in the next one with 3 double crochets. So just repeat that all the way to the end of the row, and I'll see you there. At the end of row 1, you will have 3 stitches left. Skip 2, go in that very last stitch with 3 double crochets. Okay, we've completed row 1. Now the repeat rows are going to be the next 2 rows, row 2 and 3. Okay, now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn our work. Now we're going to go to our first space right here, and we're going to make 3 double crochets in there. Okay, that's 3 double crochets in that first space. Go to your next space and put 3 double crochets in there. And that's our repeat for this row, which is row 2. Okay, again, go to your next space and put 3 double crochets in there. Continue doing this across the row, and I'll see you at the end of the row. All right, I'm almost at the end of row 2. Now we're going to put a double crochet into that very last stitch because we want our row to match on the front end and the back end. All right. So we skip these 2 stitches, go in that very last one with 1 double crochet. We have completed row 2, which is the first of the 2 row repeat. So then we're going to chain 3 and turn. That chain 3 counts as a double crochet. In the space directly below that chain 3, we're going to put 2 double crochets in there. So counting that chain 3, we have 3 double crochets. So now we're going to go into the next space and put 3 double crochets. Right now we're working on row 3, which is the second row of the 2 row repeat. Go to your next space and put 3 double crochets in there. Okay, go to your next space, put 3 double crochets in there. And I'll meet you at the end of the row. I'm now coming to near the end of row 3, And we want to match the end of this row with the beginning of the row. Okay, so we have this space right here. At the end, we're going to put 3 double crochets in there. Okay, now we've just completed the 2-row repeat, which is row 2 and 3. Now at this point, we are on the right side of our work because our starting tail is at the bottom left. I'm going to put a stitch marker in here because I'm going to be moving my piece around a little bit. Okay. So now this piece is actually going to go on the inside. The inside of our cover, because we need to make a pocket that the cover itself will fit into. So our piece is going to go around like this to the front. We'll do the same thing on the back cover. I'm going to start my pocket right around near the middle of our cover. Okay, so I have a few more rows to work here. And I'm going to go through rows 2 and 3, the repeat rows with you again. So I'm going to make a few rows until I reach the edge of the cover. Okay, let's do that. Let's repeat rows 2 and 3 so I can show you again how to do it. Okay, chain 3. Always chain 3 at the end of each row. Turn your work around. Your first space right over here, you'll put 3 double crochets in there. Go to your next space and put 3 double crochets in there. And repeat that across the row. Go to your next space, put 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets. All right, I'll see you at the end of the row. I'm coming to the end of row 4, which is the repeat of row 2. I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the very last stitch. Okay, chain 3. And turn your work. Very first space under your chain 3, you'll put 2 double crochets in there. Counting that chain 3, it's a total of 3 double crochets. Okay, go to your next space, put 3 double crochets in there. Go to your next space, put 3 double crochets, next space, 3 double crochets, and so on. I'll see you at the end of the row. All right, I'm at the end of row 5, which is the second row of the 2-row repeat. We're repeating rows 2 and 3. Okay, so go in that last space with 3 double crochets. And I'm on the front of my work again. All right, so I'm going to take this and take a look at where I'm at on our sleeve for the front cover. Okay, I think this is just a tad less than half of the cover, so I'm going to do one more row, and then after that row I'm going to change colors. Okay, for mine I've done 6 rows. Now yours may be different depending on the size of your cover. I've made my last double crochet almost. I just didn't finish it, so then I'm going to change my color just by pulling my yarn through those 2 last loops of that double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 3 and turn, and then just keep repeating those 2 rows. I might do this one for maybe 3 rows. I'll come back and show you though. So 2 double crochets in that first space below that chain 3. Go over to our next space, put 3 double crochets, and then keep repeating that. Keep repeating those 2 rows. And I'll come back and tell you how many rows I did of the new color Yours might be different. You may do more or less, whatever you like. All right, I've done 3 rows of the next color. Now the next color is going to fit around your book cover. If you change colors, if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Okay, it's going to fit something like that. Now I'm going to switch back to my yellow, and I'm going to work until I'm about 1 row from the spine. And then I'll change colors again. Okay, now let me show you what I have. Now you're going to have a different number probably because your book size will be different probably than mine. But I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and that's for the pocket on the inside where our cover is going to slip into. Okay, then I made 3 rows of my next color. 1, 2, 3. And then I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. And my cover goes this far away from the spine. Now if I take my hand and I do this, it's almost reaching the spine. And we do want to be able to stretch it a little bit because then it should hold better in the pocket. We are going to sew on the sides here to make a pocket. Now I'm going to change my color again. I'm going to make just a few rows and try it on again to see if that's enough to cover the spine. Okay, let's try this on. So, around there on the inside cover. Flip it over to the front. Okay, I made 3 rows for the spine. So it is going to be pulled kind of tight. But now all you need to do is for the back, we're just going to go right around the back cover. You need to just put the number of rows of your main color on the back. So you just crochet it on your spine area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know I need to make 8 rows of the yellow. Okay, 8 rows of the yellow. We're just going to repeat the numbers of rows we did on the front. So 8 rows of the yellow, and then I'll do 3 rows of my other color, and then I'll do 6 rows to make the pocket for the back cover. Once you have your spine covered, then from there you just repeat whatever number of rows you did here. Okay, now here is what we have. This is going to go around like this. Around like this, over my spine, and then around over the back cover, stretching it out, remember, a little bit to get it into place. So before we sew the pockets, we're going to do a trim that goes all the way around. On here, on this one, I did 5 rows. Now I want the trim to go just a little bit below our cover. I left my yarn attached on my yellow one here. I'm still using the same hook, the 5.5 millimeter. So I've made my last double crochet here. I want to chain 1, and then I'm going to go into the end of this row, the edge, with 3 single crochets. Okay, I'm going to mark that first one. And then we'll make 2 more in the same spot. Okay, that's our corner. We're going to put 3 single crochets into each corner. And then we're going to go around our double crochet on the end here with 2 single crochets. And then we'll go around our next double crochet with 2 single crochets. All right, so keep doing that. And I'll see you at the next corner. Okay, I'm at the next corner and I put a single crochet, 2 single crochets around that double crochet right on the end. And then I'm going to go to the next stitch. This is where we have our granny stitch into. I'm going to go in there and put 3 single crochets in there. I'm going to mark the second single crochet just so I can spot it when I come back around. Okay, so that was 2 and then a third one in that same corner. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets around that chain and 1 single crochet where our granny stitch is in. And I'm actually going to go over my ends so I don't have to sew them in later. All right, so 2 around our chain, 2 single crochets. And then 1 single crochet in the next stitch where the granny stitch is in. 1 single crochet in there. 2 around our chain. One in the next stitch where our granny stitch is in. And so on, 2 around the chain, 1 in where the granny stitch is. All right, I'll see you at the next corner. Just going to snip off that end that we went over. Done. Now I'm at the third corner. I put 2 single crochets around that chain 2, and then I'm going to go right here. This is my last stitch, and put 3 single crochets in there. I'm going to mark the second one that I make. Okay, then make 1 more because we need 3. And then we have these double crochets at the end here. We'll put 2 single crochets around each of those double crochets all the way along the side. All right, keep doing that. 2 single crochets around your double crochets on the ends of your rows or the edges of your rows. And I'll see you at the next corner. Now I'm at the fourth corner. I put my 2 single crochets around this double crochet. And then I have this little stitch right there before our 2 double crochets. So I'm going to put 3 single crochets into it, marking the second single crochet. So that's the first one. Oops. Second one, so I'll mark that one. Make a third one in there. And then we have these 2 double crochets here. Put a single crochet on top of each one. Then we have these 3 double crochets here. Put single crochet on top of each one, on top of the next ones, all the way to the end. And I'll see you there. All right, I'm at the last corner of that first row of single crochets. I'm going to go into where I marked that single crochet in the corner, the first of the 3 of them in the corner. I'm going to go right in that first one. Now you may do your corners differently than me, and that's quite all right. Okay. So I'm just doing a slip stitch. And chain 1. I'm going to make a single crochet right back in there, just 1. And then I'm going to go to the next one, which is the middle one of these 3, and I'm going to put 3 single crochets in there. One, 2, 3, I'm going to mark the middle one. And I'm going to make single crochets in all the single crochets. When you get to your next corner, in the one that you marked, you put 3 single crochets into that one. Okay, I'm at the end of the second row of single crochets around the edge, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet I made, and then chain 1, and I'm just going to see if this is tall enough. Okay, this is what we have here. My trim is a little bit above the cover on the top and the bottom, and that's what we want. Okay, now we're going to make the pockets. Okay, here's the cover and my book. So I'm going to fold this over like that. And then come on the inside here. And I'm going to pin with a safety pin. I'm pinning it up at the top here and then at the bottom as well to make our pocket or sleeve that our covers will slip into. Let me take a look over here. Remember, we're going to stretch it a little bit to make it tight. Wrap it around the other side. I just want to make sure that it's going to be even on both sides. Okay. All right, so from here, let's see. So it's going to go like this, and I'm going to do the other side, the back cover the same way. But for now, I'm going to just sew this one. So let's just sew these sides up. Okay, this is how mine looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one is kind of going around the edge. And then this is how my cover will look. Oops. Like that. So we're going to sew on the sides along here. Don't worry if this is kind of dipping in. We're not even going to worry about that as long as our sides are the same as each other. I'm still connected here, and I'm actually just going to pull this right off. What I do is I pull out maybe like, I don't know, 4 times the length of where I'm going to sew, close to 4 times, just to make sure I have enough and I'm not wasting too much. Okay, cut that off. We're going to be doing a mattress stitch. Okay, so I'm going to put it on my needle. I'm going to just move my yarn right to the very edge. What I'll do is I'll just put it through and through the other side, underneath 2 loops on each side. Okay, now, let's see, are you in the right position? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the next stitch from the inside. See, there's two loops. Can you see that? 2 loops. I'm going to go from the one at the back. Going to go across to the other side and go to the loop. There's 2 loops. There's 1 and 2. Go to the front one. All right. And then come back across. Just grab the loop that's furthest away from you. Go across to the other side, grab the loop that's closest to you. And just keep doing that, but just keep doing that, but every few stitches, pull your stitches to the left. All right, just pull it so that they're a little bit tight. Okay, and then come back across, go to the one under the one that's furthest away from you, go to the other side, and go under the one that's closest to you. Okay, so keep doing that right to the very end. I'll see you at the end here, and then you have the other side to do, and then of course the other ones here. And then, by George, we'll be done. Okay, I'll see you when we're done. All right, that's one side of one pocket that's sewn. Look how nice that looks. Okay, so I went right to the very end, and now I'm going to just put my yarn through, my needle through to the other side. I'm going to make a knot. And then just weave in the end. So go ahead and finish all 4 of them. And I'll be back to show you the final result. Okay, here's the book. Here's our cover. It's all sewn. Let's put it on. Okay. Slip that into our pocket. Slip the back cover into our pocket. Just move it around a little bit so your corners of your book cover don't stick through. And there we have it. I hope you love your new book cover and that you'll subscribe, share, like, and comment. Thanks, everyone.